Today, we're diving into the dark and intriguing world of street gangs, focusing on one of the most notorious ones, the Bloods. We'll be exploring the stories of some of their deadliest hitmen and uncovering what the hell happened to them. Now let's get into it, the Bloods overview. Alright, let's break down what the Bloods were all about. Los Angeles in the early 70s, where things were getting real rough on the streets. So here comes the Crips making their mark and causing a stir. Now, in response to all that, the Bloods show up. They're like the other side of the coin. These guys on Peru Street weren't having any of the Crips' influence. They were a bunch of gangs that said, no way, we're doing our own thing. But of course it wasn't all rainbows and sunshine. Even within this new alliance, there were fights and disagreements. But the one thing that brought them together was their common enemy, the Crips. As the Bloods expanded, the United Blood Nation, also known as the East Coast Bloods, emerged in the early 90s on the opposite side of the country. Formed in prison by leaders like Omar Mac Por, the UBN became a dominant force on the East Coast, outnumbering the rival Crips. However, their meteoric rise faced a setback in 2001 when founder Omar Por was arrested and convicted, leading to internal conflicts within the gang. Now, let's focus on some of the Bloods' deadliest hitmen and explore what happened to them. Omar Por. Omar Por, a big shot in the United Blood Nation. His story kicks off with a career in crime, starting with good old robbery. But here's the plot twist. He didn't just stick to petty theft. Omar played a crucial role in putting Don Taylor behind bars for murder. He was the key witness, testifying against Taylor in court. Fast forward a bit, and guess what? Omar does a 180 and takes back everything he said. Taylor's conviction goes out the window, and he's a free man again. But that's not the end of Omar's story. The law catches up with him, slapping him with federal RICO charges. Now, for those not in the know, RICO stands for Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations. It's like the law saying, you're not just a regular criminal, you're running an organized crime show. Omar's arrest wasn't just a personal setback, it sent shockwaves through the United Blood Nation. The crew that once followed him started having their own issues. It's like the glue holding them together suddenly lost its stickiness. So, as we unpack Omar Por's tale, remember, even the ones at the top can find themselves in a downward spiral. Wardell F. Now, let's talk about Wardell F, better known as Poochie, a player in the Bloods scene who found himself tangled up in the infamous murder of none other than notorious Big Faust's rap sheet isn't a short one. He had his hands dirty in the world of crime from a young age. But here's the kicker, when it comes to Biggie's murder, things get murky. Faust was pointed at as someone involved, but here's the twist in the tale. He was already 6 feet under when these allegations came to light. Imagine that, being accused of a high-profile crime when you're not around to defend yourself. Faust's life came to a dramatic end on July 24, 2003, when he was shot 10 times in the back while riding his motorcycle in Compton. The circumstances surrounding his death were themselves shrouded in mystery, with Detective Greg Kading suggesting it might have been the result of internal disputes between blood sets. As accusations tied him to the high-profile murder of Biggie Smalls, the notorious East Coast rapper, questions abound. How deeply was Faust involved? Was he a pawn in a larger game? Unfortunately, with his demise, the chance for answers went with him to the grave. Regis Dion Thomas. Now let's dive into the story of Regis Dion Thomas, a name etched in the darker chapters of Blood's history. Back in 1993, Thomas found himself at the center of a tragic incident that claimed the lives of 2 Compton police officers. The details are grim, a routine traffic stop that escalated into a deadly confrontation. The victims, Officers Kevin Michael Burrell and Reserve Officer James Wayne McDonald, faced a ruthless assailant in Thomas. The 1992 murder of Carlos Adkins in Torrance marked Thomas's descent into a criminal path. However, it was the night of February 22, 1993, that would seal his fate. The routine traffic stop turned into a tragedy, with both officers gunned down in cold blood. Thomas, armed and ruthless, left a mark on Compton, forever changing the city's history. After a massive manhunt, Thomas was apprehended in April 1993, surrendering to a KTLA television reporter. His trial resulted in a death sentence, and he now resides on death row at San Quentin State Prison. And there you have it, a glimpse into the tumultuous world of the Bloods and their deadliest hitmen. If you found this video informative, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.